I am really glad to be speaking to all of you today. But I know that this reflection is going to be different than what I normally do when I'm up here. I can usually get up here and be bubbly and happy and crack jokes, but this week is different for me. Some of you may know this, but Friday marked 3 years since my brother passed away, and I really couldn't imagine coming up here and not talking about it. So thank you all for holding space for me right now. I was trying to come up with an idea for this service, and I was searching for a Dolly song to maybe sing as a tribute. You can thank me for deciding not to sing. And while I was searching, I found out that Dolly lost a brother when she was a kid. Since she grew up in such a large family, this was the baby she was supposed to take care of, and he died before she got the chance. And even though our experiences are different, I know what it's like to dream about a future for a person and building a relationship with a sibling, only to have that slip out of your hands. It's gutting. Dolly said it crushed her and her family. She still gets choked up talking about it. I can't blame her. But I look at what happened to Dolly, and I look at what Dolly has now and what she does now, and I can see that you can carry these experiences with you without letting them weigh you down. You don't have to get stuck. They shape you, for sure, but you don't have to become them. They don't have to define you. You don't have to become jaded or cynical. I certainly would not describe Dolly Parton as either of those things. She's one of the most loving, generous people on this planet. Some people might look at her and see her as an inspiration, and she definitely is. But I look at her and I see her as a sign of hope for myself. She's been through so much, and she didn't get stuck. She makes space for the sadness and the grief, but it doesn't consume her. And if she didn't get stuck, I certainly don't have to get stuck. I love him and I miss him, but I'm not stuck. Thank you.
It is fair to say I'm not used to this. Some people call her the Dolly Mama. I like to think of her as Saint Dolly. After all, we aren't the Catholic Church, so we can name anyone we want as a saint. As an FYI, I also consider as saints Rachel Maddow, Maya Angelou, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, Greta Thunberg, James Baldwin, and Brandi Carlile as well. The Catholics state that a person needs miracles before they can be sainted. What constitutes a miracle if you're a UU? Something centered in love, something that works against the systems that would hold us down? If so, beloveds, then Dolly Parton is a bona fide saint for sure. In the way that others try to emulate their saints, I want us to emulate ours. Simply, I want us to think about how we can be like Dolly. And maybe even take the religious metaphor a little bit further, and we can offer the Dolly commandments. What do we think? What do you think, Mary?
Yup, be like Dolly.
What, y'all want to try it?
Be like Dolly.
Very good. Dolly released her first album in 1967. She is still recording. She is 77 years old now. She is not just a singer and songwriter, but also an actress, earning a Golden Globe, and a philanthropist and a businesswoman. This past year, I happened to tune in to the NBC's New Year's Eve bash with Miley Cyrus, and believe me, the attraction was not Miley Cyrus, it was that she was doing it with Dolly Parton. And just 2 days ago, she did make a miracle. She released a single with the two remaining Beatles, Paul McCartney and Ringo Starr, and the new version of Let It Be is sublime. I encourage you all to listen to it on the way home today. Unlike Madonna, who could also be qualified potentially for sainthood, and I'm not talking about the mother of Jesus, I'm talking about the Madonna. Madonna, who has reinvented herself over and over so many times, Dolly has stayed relevant by being truly, deeply, honestly, authentically herself. She has honored her roots, but also been willing to perform with a wide range of artists, and she has always displayed an awareness of who she is and a humility of that is truly refreshing. She said, "I know who I am. I know what I can do and can't do. I know what I will and won't do. I know what I'm capable of, and I don't agree to do things I don't think I can pull off." This is radical love and understanding of who she is. So the first Dolly commandment is, thou shalt be honestly yourself.
Be like Dolly.
She says, when I got something to say, I'll say it. One of the reasons Dolly has stayed popular is because in her songs and her words, she has spoken about the entire human experience. Love and loss and death, happiness and heartbreak and poverty and morality. Her unflinching honesty touches people in deep ways. Her 1975 song, The Bargain Store, was about the messy ups and downs, but it was banned because it had suggestive lyrics. Same with the song, Touch Your Woman. When talking about the bargain store, Dolly said, I felt black and blue and I just wanted to heal back up and mend myself back together and get on with my life. So, thou shalt speak thou's personal truth.
Be like Dolly.
In over a half a century of society dictating how women should look, what is appropriate to wear, what is sexualized and not, what makeup is appropriate, and what makes someone go over this line that society says there is, what hairstyles are in or not, Dolly has disposed with all of that and decided that she will wear what she wants, have her hair, her body, her makeup, all of it as she wants. There is lipstick. They look like pills. I swear they're not. They're capsules. Do you all see them around? Those are lipsticks, individual ones. Don't share them. They are, let's not spread any more germs. And there also is blue eyeshadow around with additional Q-tips. And I encourage you all, no matter how you identify, to put this on. Try it on and be more like Dolly. She said, a lot of people said that I would have done better in my career if I hadn't looked so cheap and gaudy. But I dress to be comfortable for me. And you shouldn't be blamed because you want to look pretty. She has also said, I'm not offended by the dumb blonde jokes because I know that I'm not dumb. I also know I'm not blonde. Thou shalt express thyself as thou wishes.
Be like Dolly.
Dolly knows where she comes from, as we heard from Katie's story, and she gives back generously. She started the Dollywood Foundation in 1986 and started by offering scholarships to high school students where she came from, Sevier County, Tennessee. Then she started the Imagination Library, which distributes free books to children monthly through the age of 5. Starting in Sevier County, but now she works with any area that wants to partner with her, and children get books across the United States and across the world. She supports many nonprofit organizations that aim to bring education and poverty relief, especially in East Tennessee. In this age where celebrities have gotten polarized and have lost where they come from, Dolly has always known what her values are and crosses all different lines. She knows where she comes from, and she gives what she can to help make the world a better place. Thou shalt give back what thou can.
Be like Dolly.
Dolly and her husband, Carl Dean, have been married for 57 years. He's retired from running a road asphalt business in Nashville. He has never liked the spotlight, and she jokes that he has only ever seen her perform once. While she is a very public persona, her private life is private and her marriage is very personal. She has clear boundaries, and she and her husband accept each other for who they are. And she has notoriously extended that acceptance to others. She has performed with Christian churches and drag queens. She has been on Playboy and women's rights posters. She said, "I just think everyone should be loved and accepted for exactly who they are and what they are, and we should love ourselves exactly for who and how we are." Duh. Her love and acceptance are radically inclusive. Thou shalt accept others for who they are.
Be like Dolly.
So how do you know Saint Dolly? As the actress in 9 to 5 or Steel Magnolias? As the writer of I'll Always Love You or Jolene? As the founder of Dollywood? As a philanthropist? As a proud country girl? For her iconic style? I want to give you the chance to say how you think of Dolly and how you wish to be like Dolly. I invite you to turn to a neighbor or two. Online folks, your neighbors are the others in the chat, and I'd like you to talk about how you can be like Dolly this week. What inspires you about her radical love? I'll give you about 4 or 5 minutes, and remember,
Be like Dolly.
Talk.